Going on, traders? Yes, you made it to another action-packed Money Mitch. I got a great show for you guys today. We're going to be getting into market sentiment. We're going to get into top sector and industry analysis. We're going to talk about some top stocks to watch. I got PLTR. I got some other ones that I'm going to talk about. We got a special guest. Special guest. Yes, we're going to do an interview. We're going to talk to an options trader. So if you like options, definitely stick around. Hit the thumbs up. And then we're going to get into the second half of the show where we talk about peak performance, trading psychology. Stick around. This is going to be action packed. We got a lot to talk about. And welcome to the one, the only Money Making Mitch. It's Monday. Let's get it started.
It's time for Money Making Mitch. When investors need a story, we're going to the moon. Welcome to Money Mitch, where story is everything. I'm here to find you the next opportunity. It's all about the green hands. Now we all know the bull market is here to stay. Money Mitch.
Welcome back, traders. Welcome back. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the market. We got a lot to talk about, so I want to get right into it. Let's take a look at the market sentiment. What are we seeing in the SPY right now? Yes, we had that drop towards the 436, but we quickly turned around. We talked about it. The volume pop also showed us that too. And now what we're seeing is lower volume getting in towards the high here. The question is, can we get through the 450s? You know, the SPY has been really pushing now. Really nice turnaround. But the big thing today, and I think the big important thing to note, we got through the 369 level on the Qs. Such an important level. We kept coming back towards it, did a little pullback, got there close towards 360, and exactly what we wanted to see, a hold of 366.36, and it didn't even come close to it. It just ripped on up through that level. Now the big thing is, can we hold 370s on pullbacks? We've made a nice, decent move on up, but now I want to see it hold 370 on those pullbacks. Let's take a look also at some of these stocks that are in the Qs that had a big day today. You got Moderna with a nice 7% move. NVIDIA up 5.3% there. PDD up 5%. We could look at AMD. AMD also had a good day, up about almost 4%. Tesla having a great day. This is one that we're going to talk about in a second, so I'll go a little bit deeper into some other stocks here. Baidu, Marvel, JD not having a bad day after the earnings this morning. Match starting to come back, so that's a good level that it's bouncing off of. We saw this pullback all the way down towards support again. I'm going to be looking for this to get back up there towards 150 now. This is one to definitely keep on watch. Match, Booking, nice little move on Booking. We'll start seeing if this gets strong and with the reopening trade really starts taking off. All right, guys. So first things first, I want to know, what are the sectors, right? We're going to talk about sector analysis. What's going on in the chat? Say hello if you're new to the chat. Let me know what you guys like to talk about. What did you guys trade today? What sectors was hot today for your eyes? And so that I could definitely take a look. If you have an industry or a particular stock you want to talk about, mention it in the chat and I'll definitely take a look. All right, so first things first, look at the energy. Energy up 1.79%. Technology really getting a nice lift. We had that nice pullback, but what's leading here? Solar. Solar is very important because that's exactly what I wanted to see. I've been waiting to see when solar was really going to get strong. Now that we've had multiple times to break out of this trend line, I really am going to hold really close and start taking some of these solar names to take some swings. So if we want to talk about a basket, we can definitely talk about a basket here. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys want to talk about a solar basket. If I don't see an overwhelming majority, I'll just keep moving on. So it looks like NVIDIA had an awesome day. Yes, it did. MTDR. Hertz is talking about the oil stocks. Oil stocks bouncing today. AMC, we'll probably hold off on that one right now, but it's probably made a good move. I'll see what happened. What happened in the last hour with WTH? All right, you got me. I want to take a look. I mean, that's not a bad chart. that's not a bad chart. You know, one of the things is I've talked about these levels down here around 31. As long as it can hold 31, 32, I like AMC now. I think it can get back up there towards 40. And if it gets back up to 40, it's just going to be about buyers stepping in. We'll see if it gets through that level and keeps holding 31s on pullbacks. There you go. You got it. You got the AMC. AMD thoughts, big bag holding. AMD, I mean, it did push on up. So if you look on the daily, you got this nice little trend line here that you could go off of. Now, for me, really, it's just hold 105. It's even kind of a psychological level right there. 105, if it could just hold 105, maybe you can get back up there towards 115, then 120s. And then from there, you need to just continue with the trend. One of the things that's going to lead you is if the Qs can have a big breakout. It just had a nice move. Will it continue that move, or will we see it kind of pull back and chop underneath that 370? All right, so let's take a look. Solar stocks is what I wanted to take a look at today. Some of these are, I think, could have a nice move here. So I'm going to talk a little bit about one that I like, Max N. Nice lift off of 14. I was trying to get this one today here right at the open, guys, but I wasn't able to get filled. I put out an order at 1535, and the low came to 1542. So I was really close to getting an entry in this one, and it would have been a nice move up from about that entry just to the high of the day today would have been about 6% move. So 6% on one day. I mean, that's not a bad move itself. So I'll definitely keep watching the solar stocks. Talking bread, talking about TAN. That's the ETF. You guys can keep an eye out. I do like that look on TAN now. Who knows? Maybe I'll take some TAN just to diversify here instead of just playing one name. But TAN does look great there. Nice bottoming action off the 70-70, off the 77-70s. What a term there. But now let's see if we can get back up towards the 200-day moving average towards 90. That would be my first target for TAN. And then it could get back up there towards 100. So not a bad one to watch. And if you want to know which ones are in TAN, of course, I have them right here on the right-hand side. That's why I love this tool. I got Nova, Run, CSIQ, SunW, SPWR, ENPH, and FSLR. All right, guys. So definitely keep your eyes on those. Those could get running. All right, let's take a look. What other sectors and industries move? Basic materials move. Silver getting a nice lift today. Aluminum still ripping. Look at this move that has bounced back there in Alcoa. We'll see if it can kind of get back up there towards those levels. And how's steel? How's steel? I've been waiting to see what U.S. Steel does. Looks like we got a little bit of a bounce back today. What other things did we get moving today? We got coal moving today. BTU, not a bad move. Not something I trade often, but I'll just keep an eye out on this. This is coal. All right, so another area that we can watch is consumer cyclicals right now. Gambling having a great day there. Look at this RSI. I'm kind of upset. I wanted 1120s to rebuy this one. I sold it at 14. Wasn't able to rebuy here. It only went down towards a low of 1150s. I might have gotten too picky. I thought it was going to close the gap here towards 1120. It didn't close the gap, and it bounced back already. So I'm just going to hang out and see if I can get this one in a couple days. All right, so some other ones in the gambling sector that moved up today. GAN, another one that I liked because it's starting to recover that 15. And I really thought it was going to cover this gap. Look how it just reclaimed this gap, and now it's really getting back above. Now, for me, the big thing is if it holds 15 on pullbacks. If we can just hold 15 on pullbacks, I like the look of GAN, and it could get up there towards that 1917s, if not the $20. DKNG having a decent day there. You can look at SCR also starting to get pushing on up. And Eli's is a gaming technology one. Look at to see if this one starts moving. It's a cheaper stock. ELYS. We'll see if this one can get running. Penn also had a good day today, bouncing off the bottoms there. I really want to pay attention to the 6440s. Now that's the level in the sand for me. If it breaks on the downside of that, I definitely think we're going to drop into a bearish trend. But if we can get back above 74, this is really going to start looking good because we have multiple levels there that we've tried to get above. The big thing is, can we get through this big volume day, which was 20 million shares? The high was 73.43. So I'm going to be seeing if we can get back up there towards 80, 85. And then there's a lot of price targets that are put up at like 150s, 140s. So this thing could easily get on up there towards 110, 120s. We'll see if it gets back up there and starts moving. All right, so these are just some of the set industries that I've been watching. One that I wanted to take a look at today was PLTR. And in a second, we're going to be getting into a great options interview. Stick around, guys. We got HoneyDew in the back. We'll be getting towards that in just about like 3 minutes here. I'm going to run through PLTR. You guys smash the like, and let's go ahead and talk about a little bit about PLTR. All right, so PLTR is an interesting one because it came up towards these levels before. It went up to 28. The high here was 27.50. That was really the high, and it looked like it was getting on up there, and then it really cracked back down. But what always got me interested was when we got out of this range right here on May 11th, when we cracked 21 is when we really started getting the contracts to come in. When the contracts came in, I started seeing the interest change in PLTR. It was no longer when was this one was going to break out. It was, all right, this one's going to start breaking out. Now it has contracts. Now it has some momentum, some catalyst. Let's get it running and see what can happen here. So this one ran up there and then it just completely pulled right back down. But what I liked is that it held that support there really close towards 21. It went about 16 days sideways just above 21.50, giving us that level that, hey, clear level definition of support there. And now that you got this gap up, multiple tries to get through this 25.50, that's what I'm going to be looking for now. Let's take a look on the hourly in a shorter time frame where the pattern is moving right now. And what it's been doing, it's been coming back down closer towards this 23.50, but not really getting there. 23.68. Multiple times it came back to that level and pushed right off of it. We want to see it get up there through 25.50s tomorrow. Even if it pulls back a little bit towards 24.50, get a quick move on up there through 25.50, and then we can see PLTR start moving. All right, I'm going to catch up with the chat. What's going on in the chat? How are we doing out there? Looks like some people are talking about tan. Mitch, you still like Vizio? Whew, Vizio's been taking a beating lately. I know I'm going to wait for a little bit. But remember, guys, I rode this one Vizio from about 21 to 27. I sold some. Then it came back down. I added about at 25, was looking to sell it through 28. And then when it came back, I actually broke even on that. So it was a good gain at first. It was like a 30% gain. And then from there, it was a break-even trade. But now the question is, when does this come back? Because it did take a hard downturn, and it could break that IPO low of 17.25. I would wait to see it get back above 20 before I even take a look, because it was trading in this whole pattern, right? It was trading in that pattern, and now this is a completely new pattern that it's breaking down into. You got to be careful. It could continue breaking through that low. Next thing you know, you're going through that 17.44. And I do not want to be a bag holder in Vizio. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I tried my best to get through as much as possible there in 15 minutes. If you guys think I can do a better job, let me know in the chat or hit me up in the comments. And if you guys want me to do something else at the open there, right when we get into this, I try my best to get in through all the sector and industries and some top stocks to watch. Now we're going to get into an interview to learn a little bit more about options trading. So let me know in the chat if you guys have traded options or trade options right now by putting up a 1 in the chat. All right, let's go ahead. Let's bring on our interview today. I'm super excited. I reached out to this guest after I saw a great post of just mental mindness and being aware of the market. So let's go ahead. Let's bring on HoneyDew. How we doing? Let's go ahead. Let's unmute your mic there. I think you muted it there. Boom.
Okay. Hi.
We got you. Welcome to the show.
Yay.
How are we doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How was the trading day?
The trading day was great. Actually, I traded BABA,
Yeah,
and
Baba.
I got in a starter position with Apple, and then
Nice.
Square did a really good job. Um, so
So
it did well today. So I closed the position today. I got in Square on Friday, and so it went up and it almost reached my price target. So we scaled out, and sorry, I'm a little bit nervous.
it's okay. Don't worry. Hey, well, chat. Let's give HoneyDew some love. You guys hit the like button, hit the share button below. If you guys want to find her, there's also in the description below the Twitter. You guys can give her a follow afterwards. So it looks like you do more of a day trading type strategy for options. Would you call it that, or what would you call it?
No, I mostly swing trade. I'm
Swing
more of a
trade.
swing
Okay.
trader.
All
Yes.
right. So when you're looking at your options, what kind of time expiration do you look out in?
It depends on the ticker itself,
Okay.
but um, sometimes I get weeklies, and sometimes I'll get like the next week. Depends, and then sometimes if I want to give it time, it would be like I'll get 2 weeks out options, like expiration dates.
Hey, those are definitely the ones that you can see the quick returns on.
Yes.
So kind of explain what got you into options. How did you first start trading options, and how did that journey come about?
Oh, gee. What got me into options? I have to look back. I started out with buying commons first, and then
Okay.
I think I got into this Discord server, and they started trading options, and I bought my. I mean, I spent like 3 months learning about options, and it was so confusing though. The thing is, like watching all the videos and read about it, it's still so confusing. I think the best way to learn options is go and just buy a contract. You know, just get in there and just buy a contract and see how it is. Like, and that's when I started understanding it more. So, but the returns is so much better than just buying commons. Whereas, like you can get unlimited profits with options, kind of
So
basically.
So when we're looking at your options plays and you're going to make your decisions, do you use, like, let's say, technical charts? Are you looking for support and resistance
Yes,
to attack
yes.
options? All right, so maybe let's and I'll bring a chart up. So what's kind of like maybe a recent options trade that you took, kind of to match your strategy here? I know that you mentioned Square.
Yeah.
Was this based off of kind of a support or kind of a resistance here?
Let me pull up Square really quick.
No
Okay,
worries.
so basically, it's based off of support and resistance. Actually, it was holding. Uh, Let me look back. This.
So when you do take these trades, are you buying the calls? How do you like attacking it?
I buy the calls, and usually when the strike price would be like the price target of
Okay.
a certain ticker.
All right. And when so you're looking to put an out of the money call in? Is
Yes,
that
out of the money calls have better returns.
perfect? All
Um,
right. So just trying to get the strategy down packed here.
okay.
But so I'm seeing it now. We're out of the money calls. We're trying to do it based off of support and resistance. Do you sell into resistance, or are you looking for a breakout on the stock?
I usually, if I'm buying calls, I would look for a breakout.
Breakout. Okay, so it's
Yes.
it's more like a breakout strategy on the option there. So definitely, I mean that sounds interesting. I've taken some option trades myself, been on both sides. Have had some become losers. I'm trying to get better at options myself, so it's cool to hear somebody approach it in this way and be consistent. So let's talk a little bit more about what do you use to like kind of find your trade ideas. Do you use like maybe some social aspects? Do you,
A lot of it is social media, and also I would have to thank a really good friend of mine, Matrix. He is like the goat, the guru of like he's the best analyst ever, and I learn a lot of my trading from him. And he does have a Discord server that we go on there and we talk about a lot of the tickers, and we just kind of pick out tickers to trade and everything. So
perfect. So let's go ahead and let's talk about maybe a trade that you recently done or that you want to bring up here.
okay,
You got one ready for us?
sure. So the one that we recently done. I mean, we can talk about Square, or we can talk. Let's talk about BIBA.
Okay.
One of my favorite tickers ever. I have been trading it for a while, and with options, large cap options. I think it's better for you to trade like a ticker that you're very similar with, like you're very familiar with. You learn the price action, you learn a lot about it, so it's easier to make profits out of it than just picking out a ticker that you're not very familiar with. And BABA is BABA is like one of my favorite because I trade it a lot.
Are you liking this turnaround that we're starting to see now?
Yes, I do. So I think I post about it on Friday. There were the charts were looking really bad. Even though it looks really ugly, but there were so many dark pool prints that were just buying BABA so much. So sometimes when you have like dark pool prints, it means that they know something that you don't. Like, so I was just waiting for like a reversal. And we were looking at the support levels, and I think one of the major support level is the $150 price. So we're trying to see, I was actually hoping, I was watching it and I was hoping it would dip down that low so I can get in like further out dates, like maybe 3 weeks out.
Yeah.
But it never really dipped that low. So what I did was I bought some lotto contracts today. Yeah, the weeklies. It's
got the lottos.
Yes, they were weeklies, and I bought some today, just hoping that maybe if it did reverse, I could get some out of it, some profits out of it, and it did work out really well because it dipped, but then it also reversed really, really quickly.
So how are we doing on that? Are we in the green on that right now?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So my lotto is like up over 100% right now.
Oh, you guys heard it.
But I am waiting. It's 112% to be exact. But I'm waiting to hit price target. Like, so to gap fill is going to be let me look at the charts again. So the price target would be $171. That would be like a major resistance that we need to break.
Yes. Yeah, so you would sell into that move probably?
Yes. Once it hits closer to that price, I'm going to sell it and take profits. And then I'll buy like 3 weeks out. If it breaks that resistance, we can actually fill up to the 220 price range. So that would be great.
Definitely. I'm going to be watching it myself. I mean, we've been seeing these names really take a downturn for a while. I mean, the RSI got as low as 7 on the RSI.
Yes.
I mean,
RSI
you don't see that.
Oversold on the daily. It was like really oversold. So that was like, so I have noticed that from my experience, anytime the RSI is that low, always buy like under the 30 RSI 30. You get into a position, and if you're gonna get into a long position, maybe by leaps, it will always go back up.
No, definitely. When you're looking at the extreme oversold momentum and you're looking for those reverse swings, I mean, these are the type of stocks that could come back, especially with a kind of a this is a business. We're not talking about, you know, a penny stock here. We're talking about BABA. They have a business. They're going to come back. I think, what has really hit them is just kind of this battle between the US and China and what's going to happen to these stocks. But I think you're finding a decent level, definitely, to find an attack, at least for an options trade here. I'll wish you the best, HoneyDew, and we'll definitely have to bring you back to find out what happens with that Baba trade. So
Okay.
with that being said, definitely, guys, check out HoneyDew on Twitter. And I also, just to let everybody know, I also included that Discord link there. Also, if you guys want to check it out, where she kind of watches these options trades and hangs out. I definitely appreciate you coming on with me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, and we'll look forward to bringing you back.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So there you guys had it. I wanted to go ahead and start doing some more guest interviews. So I reached out to an options trader. I'm looking forward to doing some more interviews. You guys hit the thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys want to see some more interviews, less interviews, let me know. That's what it's all about. We got the feedback. Now we're going to go ahead and get into the trading psychology side of this show. So I've been wanting to really change up this show and not just stick on one side where we're just looking at charts and charts and charts and charts and I just chart you to death. Because, I mean, hey, anybody can go through charts and point out technical levels, but really what matters is if we're building on our skills. So on this side of the show, I want to go ahead and build on our peak performance, build on our trading mentality, our psychology, so that we can all become better traders. What I want you guys to do while I'm doing this is definitely put in the chat if you guys are going through these struggles, have seen these struggles, or know somebody that's going through this also. So first things first, let's get this started. This is the peak performance side of Money Mitch, and welcome. All right, guys, welcome to it. Peak performance, where we go ahead and we attack the trading psychology and always work to get better in our execution. The way this show started was really by a book, The Observe. And what it was about was getting to your peak performance. From that level, we can always understand that when we're trading in the zone or in peak performance, we're going to have our best trading performance. And this is just how it is in every sport. You're not always at peak performance. There's like kind of this wave that you have to battle. But if we can focus and try to improve and stay longer periods in time in our trading zone, we're going to see that the returns come back to us. All right. So first things first, we're going to talk about the waves of trading, guys. The waves. Yeah, there's waves to this game, guys. There's waves to this game. I've always said it. There's levels. There's waves to the game. Hey, let's go ahead. Let's start taking a look. This is a lesson from our own trading patterns, which really matters. I think this is what the important part of this part is not that this is off of anybody else's data. You should base this off of your data. So if you're not taking data already, hey, you might as well just end this show and go get your trading journal and really get it down packed, because that's worth more than just even my show. I want you guys taking your data. So let's jump right into today's presentation. So first things first, introduction, right? So one of the key ways to judge your trading is to keep statistics or data on your trading. I use TraderView a lot of times because that's just a free version of keeping some data on paper and gives you a nice way of looking at it. But really, what we want to see is we want to see our trading patterns. We want to see that trading comes in waves a lot of the times. There's going to be times where we're doing great, weeks of straight green, where you look back at your results and you're like, hey, man, I've been green for like 5 weeks. But then there's also going to be times where we struggle and we drop into a slump. This is always going to happen as traders. We have to understand that there's waves to this game, and there's going to be highs and there's going to be lows. And there's also going to be streaks on both sides, winning side and losing side. So you need to decide how to best manage this. How can we manage the waves? So one of the things that happens is that, this is the pattern that we're seeing in both our tradings. And so one of the things that we're going to see often is that when we look at the waves of trading, I want you going back and seeing how your return is doing. So when we look here, like we're looking at right now, this chart, one of the things you want to see is how are the peaks? How are the troughs? How are the bottoms, the supports? Do you get that consolidation look? Or is it kind of a roller coaster ride up and down? We want to try to control this line as much as possible on the downside. And when we make upside potential moves, we want to see big leaps into the data. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's get into another slide here. So there's mainly two patterns that we see in our data, right? And so there's going to be the down wave, the capital draining down wave. Why I call it the capital draining down wave is because these are moments when you need to go ahead and manage your risk. A lot of times we're going to get into battles with our own system. Why? Because even if you trade your system correctly, sometimes there's going to be times where you're just losing. It's a losing streak. And in these moments, this is when I realized that this is how you control your capital. You need to understand when you're in these kind of ruts. When you're in these ruts, you start taking the smallest position possible. Just trying to find out, when am I going to get out of the rut? When is the strategy, the probability going to come back into play? Smash the like if you guys are appreciating this kind of trading talk here. Let me know in the chat if you guys want to talk about something in depth. If there's a part of this that you want me to hang on to and go more deeper into, let me know in the chat. Looks like some people are liking it. That's what I want to hear. I pull a bus full of children to school before the bell rings. Can't blame you. Let's go ahead. Let's get this going. So one of the things is when we're in these down waves, we need to really control our capital. Slow it down, control it. Then when it comes back, we know that the river's flowing. Then you throw your capital at it. What is that going to do? That's going to bring us to the up wave, the in the zone wave. We all want to get into that in the zone wave. I'll let you know right now, it happens all the time. You guys sometimes have seen me on here, Money Mitch, where I'll give, and it's not to be cocky, I'll give, 4, 5, 6, 7 winners in a row. What is that? That means I'm on top of my zone. I'm in my zone. I know my strategy, and I'm finding it, and I'm attacking and executing. That's what we want to do as traders. But then there's also going to be times where I don't have so many trade ideas. And what I try to do is more long, focus on the industries, focus on the sectors, find where we're going, not where we've been. Okay, so getting back to the in the zone. You can only stay in the zone for so long. And this is important to understand also. So it's okay that you fall out of the zone and you make a bad trade or you make a mistake in your trading. Just realize it. Stop, control capital, and then adjust. Figure a way to adjust to get yourself back into the zone. Peak performance is what we always are going to come back to. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about that down wave. So down waves really usually are going to consist of what? You're going to start seeing that you need to control it. Have a max weekly loss. Have consecutive losing streaks. You'll see your accuracy dip below 50%. The stats are not matching the strategy. When you notice that, hey, my strategy usually is a 2-for-1, and now I'm only getting 1-for-1, maybe that's a good sign that my stats aren't matching my strategy, and I'm heading for a down wave in my trading. Another thing that can happen is you're showing quick profit taking. You're like, as soon as you get into the green, I got to take it. Got to take it off the tables. Got to take it off the tables because you're chasing that up wave. You're trying to create the up wave versus letting the probability come into play and playing a factor for you. So the last thing is if you start noticing that you're letting losers run. If you're letting those losers run on you on the downside and you're losing more than you expected, this could be a very simple explanation of that you're heading into that down wave and we must control the risk. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get into the next slide here. Next slide is the up wave, and the up wave comes with some good news. I mean, you'll start seeing what? Weekly goals being touched. You'll see consecutive profitable weeks. You'll see high accuracy. You'll be about 60% or higher. Your stats will start matching the strategy. The risk and return will be there. If you're risking, 10 cents to get 30 cents, you actually take the 30 cents and you actually are holding to that 10-cent risk. That's what matters. That's when we're in the zone. That's when we're performing great execution. That's when you, as a trader, need to go ahead and step up to the plate and take your trades. This is the time when the river's flowing. And when the river's flowing, you gotta, put the big boy pants, whatever you gotta do, and go at it hard. Do not be afraid. When your data tells you that everything's matching, your strategy's matching, the way that you're trading is matching, and you're noticing, hey, I'm picking these stocks on point. Those are the times when we need to go ahead and jump on it, because what you're going to do is you're going to give yourself that little boost. That boost in the returns helps you when you fall into the chop. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it on the waves of trading. But one thing that I say is look at your trading. Find what happens in it. Do you have those moments where you go sideways? It's okay to come back down a little bit, but we want to always be bouncing back. And if you're not bouncing back, then you definitely need to go ahead and readjust. Take a second to slow the capital down, slow the losing down, and control it to understand, hey, is it my strategy or is it my execution? If it's my execution, then you got to go ahead and find how to execute your strategy. If it's just the probability going against you, then that's just the waves of trading. Hang on tight, control the risk, and then master the execution. Like always, guys, we're going to go ahead and continue working on these. I want you guys to go ahead and continue working. And what can we learn from this, you want to ask? So we can learn that trading habits have patterns. We definitely do. And we can use our data to analyze our stats. We can use this to our advantage by swinging bigger on the upswings. I want you to juice up when you get that nice upswing. I want you to, it's just like a baseball player when they're on fire. When they're on fire, you can throw me whatever you want down the plate. It could even be a ball. I'm going to put it in the stands. But we also want to control the downswings. Just like when you're a quarterback in the NFL and you're not seeing your receivers get open, you're paying attention way too much to the defenders. You can't see the holes. What do you need to do? Sometimes you just need to check the ball off to your running back and just let him do the game because you're not seeing the game clearly. This is what matters a lot of the times. If you're not seeing the game clearly, you need to go ahead and adjust and adapt. Another thing is how to approach times when our strategy is just not producing high accuracy. This is going to happen at times. You're going to see that your strategy isn't doing what it normally does, even if you tested it before. And what you need to do is just slightly adjust and wait, or look for other strategies in the meantime. But if you're a beginner trader, this is the time that I say that you kind of go away from trading and not try to trade every single day. I need to take every single trade of my strategy. More along, look at it. When is the probability coming back in your favor? And like always, guys, I want to see you guys surfing out there. I want to see you guys riding the waves. And we're all going to keep on this battle. It's not easy. We're going to keep battling. And sometimes you're going to be riding up. And sometimes, guess what? You're going to be riding down, guys. You're going to be in the waves. You're going to feel like the waves are crashing upon you. And you don't know where to go in the trading. But I'll tell you one thing is if you stick to your game, understand your data, and look back. Take your time to analyze your data. Am I going through what is the in the zone stage, or am I going through the rut? If I'm going through the rut, I'm going to control my capital and hold it tight, hold it close to me. The days that I feel execution's on point, let it fly. Let it fly. But definitely, I hope you guys enjoyed learning about the waves of trading. I'll keep coming at this. And one thing I want to tell you guys is remember, traders, even though the light may be small at the end of the tunnel, there is so much more that's waiting for you out there. So keep battling, guys. I know it isn't easy to be a trader. I've been at this game for a long time. Yes, I'm profitable, but at the same time, I know what the struggle was early on. And so if you guys want to get there, definitely understand there's waves to this game, and we're going to keep battling to get there. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know in the chat if you guys enjoyed me going in through the peak performance side of this show where we talk about trading psychology. Give me a big old thumbs up. I want to see how many thumbs up I got on the day. But it does look like we even got honey in the chat. I hope, hey, we all get nervous. We all get to that point. We'll wish you well, and we'll keep battling. We'll bring you back. It's okay. Hey, first time on, this is cool. We learned. We are going to take a look. I'll tell you one thing. I'll be taking a look at Baba the next couple of days to see what happens there. We talked about market sentiment. We talked about how the SPY is coming back. The Q's ripping through the 370s. We took a look at some solar stocks. A lot of these high-tech names making a big lift on the up. A lot of that, as you can see from the technicals off the Q's, really giving us that lift. NVIDIA ripping on up. AMD ripping on up. I'm looking to see what happens with Apple. Do we get a big lift? Because if we can get Apple and Tesla to make a nice big on up move, I think, of course, that continues to move the market. You know how many people carry Tesla and Apple in their portfolio. So I'm looking to see if those stocks continue moving and we can take that advantage of that momentum in the tech stocks. We talked about Palantir. We talked about the solar stocks that I'm watching to have a continued strength into the end of the year. We'll see if this industry really gets ripping. And like always, I'm going to be here, Money Mitch, working hard to get you guys the next story, because it's always about the story. Like always, keep working on the 3 variables, guys, the technicals, the fundamentals, and the story. And when you combine 3, I think that's definitely going to give you an advantage to get into the best trading ideas, which is what I do on a daily basis. Like always, guys, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys thought after this show. I've been trying to change up the Monday, give you guys a little bit more, talk about trading psychology. We did stocks. I mean, I don't think there's anything left I can do for you guys. But if you guys know anything, let me know in the chat, and I'll always work to get better. Look at that. We got a little love here. I appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, we'll definitely keep battling. I want to keep helping you guys out there get better. That's why I'm here. Honestly, the day that I can't get you guys better is be the day that I'd probably leave Benzinga, because that's what I started this for, and that's what I'm going to continue doing it for. Thumbs up, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll have Money Mitch, another guest on tomorrow, so stay tuned if you guys want to see some more interviews. And like always, Money Mitch, guys. Let's hit it. Let's work on that money mob. Let's keep working to improve. And like I always say, there's not one way to improve. So find one skill you want to work on and just work at that one skill. Get improvement every single day, every single week. The days turn into weeks. The weeks turn into months. And after years of experience, I can tell you from my experience, you're definitely going to see some improvement. Get on up there. We'll see you next time. Money Mitch.
It's time for Money Making Mitch. When investors need a story, we're going to the moon. Welcome to Money Mitch, where story is everything. I'm here to find you the next opportunity. It's all about the green hands. Now, we all know the bull market is here to stay. Money